Lincoln says it's good to like and subscribe, and he never lies. Welcome to Innovative History. Born in 1809 and known as Honest Abe and the Great Emancipator, Abraham Lincoln was a soldier, a lawyer, and the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln was born on February 12th in a log cabin near Hodgenville, Kentucky. Lincoln grew up relatively poor. He even spent a winter living in an open-faced cabin when his family moved from Kentucky to Indiana. His mother also died when he was young. Lincoln grew up without much of a formal education, but he enjoyed reading and he was a strong young man, known for his strength with an axe. He spent time building fences as a youth. After growing up on a farm, Lincoln set out for adventure by taking a flatboat down the Mississippi River to New Orleans. He knew he didn't want to be a farmer. He ended up moving back to Illinois and enlisting in the Black Hawk War in 1832. He was even elected captain of his company. He didn't see any live fighting, but he did joke that he did fight off some mosquitoes. After the war, Lincoln ran for Illinois state legislative office. Although he was defeated on his first try, he didn't give up and was eventually elected. He'd be elected 4 times between 1834 and 1840. He also dreamed of becoming a lawyer. So he studied hard for the bar exam, and he passed in 1836. Lincoln became a successful lawyer and politician, and he built a reputation as a talented orator, with a commonsensical, honest approach to getting the job done. Having established a successful career, Lincoln married his wife, Mary Todd, in 1841. She was a well-educated, witty young woman from his home state of Kentucky. They had 4 boys, only one of which would live to adulthood. Lincoln was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1846 and made a name for himself by opposing slavery and a war with Mexico. Lincoln took a break from politics before running for U.S. Senate in 1858 against Stephen Douglas, hoping to keep slavery out of the new Louisiana territories. He lost that election, but it did pave the way for his nomination for president in 1860. Lincoln won the presidency, but received no electoral votes from the Deep South. He was a talented thinker. He's the only president to hold a patent. He invented a tool designed to keep boats from getting stuck on sandbars. As the president, Lincoln accomplished a number of things, including helping pass the Legal Tender Act, the creation of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the Homestead Act, and the Union Pacific Railway. But almost all of his presidency revolved around the American Civil War. After Lincoln was elected, a number of states seceded from the Union. Eventually, shots were fired at Fort Sumter, South Carolina, and the Civil War began in 1861. The Civil War was fought between the United States or Union, highlighted in blue on the map, and the Confederate States or South, highlighted in red. An estimated 1 million soldiers fought for the South, and about 2 million soldiers fought for the North. Over 600,000 soldiers died, many of these from disease. The biggest issue of the war was slavery. According to historians, the American slave trade saw over 12 million African slaves shipped to the New World. About 10 million were shipped to the Caribbean and South America, over 1 million died on the journey, and the U.S. imported almost 400,000 slaves during the 17th to 19th centuries. It was Abraham Lincoln who would bring an end to slavery in the United States. By the Civil War, there were an estimated 4 million slaves in the U.S. On January 1st, 1863, Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which stated that all slaves in the rebellious southern states were freed. Eventually, the 13th Amendment was ratified, which formally abolished slavery in the United States. The bloody Civil War dragged on, with the deadliest battle occurring on Union soil in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It was here in 1864 that Lincoln delivered one of the most famous speeches in American history. 87 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now, we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. In the same year, 1864, Lincoln ran for re-election as president. The Civil War had taken a toll on him, and he had visibly aged. He won the re-election, and he and the Union also won the Civil War. On April 9, 1865, General Robert E. Lee surrendered to the Union, effectively ending the Civil War. Sadly, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated only 6 days later. He was murdered by actor John Wilkes Booth while watching the play Our American Cousin at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. Lincoln is remembered as one of the greatest U.S. presidents to ever live. In 1922, the Lincoln Memorial was erected in his honor and still stands today in Washington, D.C. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll subscribe and check out some of our other videos. Or come visit us at innovativehistory.com.